sustainable development in Morocco. It's a little bit exotic for you, but I begin by, I will start by giving a quick overview of the biodiversity in Morocco. Then after focusing on Southwestern Morocco biodiversity and the interrelation between inhabitant and woodland argan diversity, the woodland and the social and environmental of argan forest and its impact on the lives of rural population. Then I will raise the problem of decline of argan woodland and the causes of degradation of this plantation. Then finally I will give the strategy then to rescue this woodland, the rescue the argan degradation, and finally a conclusion. Biodiversity in Morocco, with its privileged geographic situation, we have Ocean Atlantic to the most continental border, and from Mediterranean to the desert Sahara, we have a crossing of climate, Mediterranean, Atlantic Ocean, and continental Sahara. The country shelters a particularly diverse natural vegetation, as well as by its structure and by its aspect, as by the diversity of species. The floral richness of this the country is mainly related to the great ecological heterogeneity, and the country offers many ecological aspects. The most important ecological are forest and mattoral, which extend on 6 million hectares. Then steppe, tenisiba, which extend on 3 million hectares. In the Mediterranean basin, biodiversity in Morocco occupied the second place after Turkey with 20% endemic rate. Of course, this diversity is subject to many natural pressure, climate change and anthropic pressure, clearing, overgrazing, etc., etc. Forest and steppe ecosystem. Forest ecosystem occupy a very wide range of Mediterranean bioclimate in the region where rainfall is from 15 to 1,000 millimeters. This forest ecosystem extend from the level to the high altitude, allowing original succession to the Mediterranean basin, mainly of natural deciduous formation, green oak, cork oak, Pyrenean oak, and argan tree and conifer like pine, tuya, cedar, etc., etc. Occupying 6 million hectares, but community of forest plants has more than 16 tree species. At the extreme south, in the Saharan ecosystem, this ecosystem occupies mainly the predator space formed by eggs and wrecks, and the plantation free formation are based on acacia, like radiana, herbergia, gommifer, albida, etc., etc. Despite limited vegetation due to the low rainfall, less than 50 millimeters, there are many species, plant species, there are 16 which are endemic. Now, focus my work on the southwestern Morocco biodiversity. You see in the map that the country is largely mountainous. The Atlas Mountain is the dorsal spine of the country. Yeah, you see the hot Atlas, middle, and the anti-Atlas, and in the north, the Reef Atlas, the Reef Mountain. The High Atlas is the highest mountain in the North Africa, sometimes called the roof of Morocco or the roof of the North Africa. It extended to Algeria and Tunisia. High Atlas Mountain, main focus of endemism, number of endemism is higher than in Anti and the Middle Atlas. The Southwest Morocco region is among the most forested region with 43.4% forest cover. You see in the map that in the southwestern Morocco, the Argan woodland largely cover this region, and it constitute a green belt that provide one of the most interesting biotic shield against desertification. The most important tree species biodiversity in this region, which for conservation and community welfare in southwest Morocco, are Tuya and Argan. But Tuya now is it's only preserved to protect bioclimatic. It is now forest value and economic are reduced because it was only the degraded. The Tuya wood is mainly used by artisans to create skilled, beautiful objects with scent and color are pleasant and unique. This presentation will mainly discuss the relation of Argania spinosa woodlands with rural life in southwestern Morocco, which constitute the unique natural wealth and social goods. Biosphere Arganery, the endemic Argan tree, unique and important worldwide, are found in the semi-arid and arid zone. The arid zone covers the greater part of the Argan tree, which constitutes with tetraclinid articulata and acacia, the species fundamentally important for the biodiversity conservation. Area covered by Argan forests in the region with the association of subtropical temperature and oceanic moisture creates a unique system recognized by UNESCO as a biosphere reserve in 1998 and has been identified as a priority of the Moroccan Ministry of Agriculture, Man and Biosphere Initiative. Taxonomy and distribution. The Argan tree, Argania spinosa, belong to a tropical family that of Spotus. The Argan tree is a fruit forest tree. Tree size hardly exceed 8 to 10 meters. The top is dense and rounded, presentory twigs. Argan tree well adapted because of the rooting system that can allows tree to survive on poor and dry soil, limiting original desertification. Argan tree is endemic of Morocco. Lifetime is up to 150 years. Slow growing tree, influenced by three factors: the relief, oceanic coast, and Sahara. Survivor of the Tertiary era. Ground in arid and semi-arid zone where the rainfall is less than 150 millimeters. and yeah, a very resistant to drought, to temperature more than 50 degrees. The fruit argan nut has the form of olive. It is green to yellow at maturity. Long maturity, maturation 2 years. Resistance shell containing 1 to 3 almonds. Almonds contain 50% oil. The fruit called argan nut composed of a fleshy pulp and a very hard shell containing the oil seed. The argan nut and the kernel. The fruits are then spread in the sun layers to dry the pulp and to extract the oil. We use traditional method. The dried pulp is separated from nut by slides crushed with a stone and stored separately. The dried pulp to feed cattle and argan oil. Note that argan oil comes from almonds and not from pulp like olive. The traditional extracts, after harvesting the fruit, removing the pulp, cracking the hard shell of argan nuts to extract kernel, and roasting the kernel, grinding them to produce a thick paste, and kneading this paste to extract oil by adding water. This oil produced is made in each family as and when needed and sold in a small quantity on the market. The short preservation time observed for the traditionally prepared oil is directly related to the addition of water during the extraction procedure. Water addition being suppressed in the rural women cooperative argan, while preservation ability is now strongly improved. Industrial procedures, we extract lipidic liquid by apolar solvent with adding antioxidant to be compatible with the criteria cosmology and do not be an obstacle to the commercialization of the world. Our social and overall role of argan tree, source of life. Argania spinosa has been supported the survival of rural inhabitants for centuries. Their lifestyle and cultural mode was influenced by survival behavior since their occupation turned around this tree. Argan is a central element of a multi-use silvo-pastoral system that rural inhabitants manage for a large number of products such as oil, fodder, charcoal, wood, etc. The subsistence of 2 million people in rural Morocco is assured. Argan system prevent them for immigration to the urban center. So I have not much time. And the degradation of the argan wood, despite its resistance to the arid climate, the argan tree is fragile to climate change. Argan tree is basis of multi-use system that contributes severely to continual degradation of argan, like overgrazing, traditional agroforest, etc., etc. So I passed. You see that the decline of the area of argan tree superficie is constantly shrinking. The overgrazing by goat and camel, and the strategy to rescue this argan degradation. To stop the loss and the degradation of the argan ecosystem, the strategy is to involve local community in the preservation of the argan tree. The local population cannot actively participate in the rescue of the argan tree and stop the progression of the desert only if it benefits directly from the financial income to improve their living condition. So, save the argan tree through the sustainable development of the forest. Government-supported programs have been initiated and encourage the creation of women's cooperative. This women's argan cooperative, local household and local authority have become aware of the socio-cultural and economic interests represented by the development of the argan tree and has made it target for a sustainable development. They have therefore organized themselves into several cooperative groups in their rights holder to contribute to the improvement of the wild extraction and its marketing for the benefit of the women, to preserve this resource and to fight against indigenous desertification. So, after being able to overcome all the obstacles, its valorization has always flourished commercial activity by emerging organ processing company to access to export markets with increased income of smallholder. Its high value help the social economic integration of women. Today, cooperative feminine are very developed in the region and are avoidable and very concerted in the process of regional development. Cooperative and the Union of Cooperative and network of NGO. These cooperatives have positive social, economic and environmental benefits, especially for women of rural. 19% harvested organ fruit is processed locally by cooperative. The workforce is totally feminine. I finished. The Argan forest was a long time ignored. It constitutes now a specific biotope that has been declared a biosphere reserve by UNESCO in 1998. It represents a sign of development that has made improved significantly a livelihood of rural Morocco. It is now considered like a success experience in Southwestern Argan wild, a traditional product which was always been embedded in a particular social and natural context, has now gained international recognition and become a source of job creation. High quality argan is produced. A very high demand in the world market for argan products has been created, and the income of women producers have improved, and the socio-cultural level of women producers has improved significantly, giving them access to a new statute to better contribute to the functioning of their cooperative, to the improvement of the living condition of their family and their village, local and regional community. Silvicultural techniques are available to multiply and regenerate the argan tree. The argan plantation are now greatly accelerated. Thank you.